Welcome back to another great episode of Comedians in Bed, where comedians can be comedians, and I don't really know what that means, but it just sounds like something that you should say on a podcast, man. I just want to warn you guys, I'm simultaneously doing two things at once because that's what real hustlers do. I'm not really a real hustler. I want to be a father instead, but my mom said that I should be a host, so now we're here. But we have another great guest here for you, and as always, I have a great introduction for him. You've seen him before, but now you just want to get to know him a little bit better, man. A very, very, very giving comedian, and what I mean by that is he always gives advice when needed, and that's always good. We appreciate it. Recently voted 2023 comic, and come on, let's please everybody give it up for Marc Fazon, aka Marc Fazon.
That's that Italian. Hey, what's good, you bro?
I'm chilling, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm feeling great, bro. Man, I'm blessed, man. And shout out to you for runner up for the best podcast. Like it could have went either way. Like you definitely had something, and I want to salute you for it.
uh, I had no intentions on going, and I didn't know. Yeah.
Listen, best comedian would even. I mean, a best clean comedian would even a category. Like I didn't even know about it. I had came just to show some love and support the event, and they was like, "Hey, bro, you about to leave?" I was like, "No, there's a man stick around." I'm like, "All right, bro, I'll stay a little bit longer." I should have known they had something up their sleeve.
Yeah, people were well, just one person about it. I thought they yeah, I'm glad to hear everyone. But I appreciate everybody who enjoys the podcast. But now it looked like it was great. I have a show. Well, by the time this airs, I have a show there at the Sanctuary, so I'm excited about it. Like once I start pictures.
Yo, it's an amazing venue. I mean, I had never even heard of it. I was like, I came in, I was like, this is nice.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I just never been inside of it before,
Yeah,
so I didn't expect it to look like that. But
they
yeah,
did their thing. Shout out to them.
that Neil, they flipped a couple churches. There's another church or two on that same street that one of them is like a coffee shop or something like that. So
Bruh. So the House of Lord is doing everything.
right, the one you've been in the one since in Dayton, right?
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, that's the same thing there. How do you feel about being in venues like that? That used to be a church. Because I mean, like,
A part of me be like, just a little bit, but at the end of the day, I mean, if if it's the House of the Lord, I'm gonna still do me regardless.
yeah, yeah. I be trying not to cuss in there because it's still a cross somewhere in there. But
Right.
I be
Because
cussing.
they don't take away none of the bones though. Like it still look like a church on the inside and the outside. So that's crazy part about it.
Yeah, I be cussing because I don't. Nobody's ever really explained to me why a cuss word is a cuss word. Like I don't really cuss unless it like randomly comes out.
Right.
But like I cuss a lot during the but I don't. What makes a cuss word a cuss word? Do
This
you
is
know?
very true. I honestly don't like who determined these words were bad words. And what's crazy is this: people always think because I'm a clean comic that I'm like this ultra Christian dude who's against cussing. Nah, I used to cuss like everybody else. I just stopped in 2011 because my son asked me to.
Yeah. Well, my biggest fear when I have a son, I'm probably gonna call him a nigga.
Oh no, I've definitely called my son that. Like he did some stuff that yeah. Like I said, you a miniature you is gonna make you call him the N word. It's gonna happen. Like my son, I was on my way out the door. He was like, "Hey, Dad, let me borrow your debit card." And I went to go give him my debit card. I said, "Nah, son." I said, "You got your own debit card and you got cash on it." He said, "Man, I ain't even that hungry. If I'm gonna use my own money." I said, "Nigga, I'm like, bro, he don't want to spend his money, but we'll spend mine."
That's funny. All right. Yeah, like, do you strive to be? And I really wasn't even trying, wasn't going to really talk about it, but do you strive to be like, okay, we're gonna be clean here today, or is that just something that you just kind of like stumbled upon, or is that was like
So
that you found the most successful?
for me, I said like literally, I really did stop cussing in 2011 because my son was he was I can't remember how old he was, but he came to me one day and he was like, Dad, why do people use cuss words so much? And I'm being petty because I'm talking about his mom. And I'm like, yeah, people use cuss words because they don't have the vocabulary to express themselves without it. And this no good nothing gonna come back and say, well, Dad, you the smartest person I know, so that means you're gonna stop cussing. And I had no rebuttal for that. So I was like, shh. So I had to stop cussing because he put me on the spot. Then what happened was he's 20 years old now and he cussing up a storm, but I feel weird going back to cussing after all these years. It's been 12, 13 years I haven't cussed.
Yeah, okay, do that. Do you cuss in your head? Did that count?
I honestly don't know the rules, so I think inside my head I'm cool because it's hard not to cuss inside your head on the freeway, not driving. I call you for names.
That'd be the question I'd be want to like ask my pastor and stuff. I'd be like, is it really a sin if I cuss in my head, or like explain that?
Ask him, ask your pastor. Let me know because I've been doing it.
I am gonna ask him. Yeah, I'm gonna ask him. Like, is it a sin if I cuss in my head? Because if so, I should have been at that altar today.
And impure thoughts is there.
Man, yeah. But nah, man, I thought that was dope. I try to. I mean, I consider myself to be clean, but the reason what got me to start to be clean was because before I even started doing comedy, I was over my brother's mom's house, and she was watching the comedian that does the Ventriloquist or whatever. He's a white dude.
Uh-huh.
He's real popular, man, but he be doing the rings and stuff. And she was just cracking up, and I thought it was funny too. But like, she was so like adamant about like how clean he was and how she liked that. That stuck out to me. And even before that, I was like, I think I should be clean, just because at that time I wasn't particularly cussing. And then I just felt like it'd be more of an avenue. And then seeing her reaction to it, I was like, this is just more. I could reach more people like doing it like this way. So, but I'm not hesitant to drop a.
Yeah, I just feel like comments, you should have at least 10 minutes of clean.
Yeah, I feel like people who cuss, and that's another reason why they want to cuss, was because I feel like sometimes they use that as a crutch, like the cuss line. That's just lazy writing.
Yep. I remember one time I was at the Funny Bone and a comic came on stage and said, "What's up, mother effers?" and everybody busted out laughing. And I'm looking around like, what did he say that was funny though?
Yeah.
And that was like that solidified that I know that what I was doing was working for me. I said I ain't got nothing against like my favorite comics are Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Bernie Mac. I like the cussers. I ain't got nothing against it. I just know for me personally, in the path that I'm on, I'm clean for now. Like I said, who knows what the future holds? Maybe one day I will cuss. Who knows? I highly doubt it though.
Yeah. And that's smooth. That's all right though. How did you feel to be like acknowledged by your peers?
I mean, it's an amazing feeling, but like I said, for me, I was there having a good time and enjoying the festivities in general. So it was just an icing on the cake.
Was there food there? Was there like food?
Nah, I don't think so. If it was, I missed the food.
Was there at least refreshments?
Yeah, they had like they had a bar in there and everything, so you can get some snacks on.
Oh, okay. I'm not saying I can eat somewhere. I ain't got no refreshments, bro.
Gotta have something.
You gotta have something. So like, do you like each year, like either the physical year or like your comedy anniversary, do you sit here and be like, okay, this year I want to focus on X, Y, Z, and if so, how do you plan to attack that?
So I do it every year for New Year's, like you know how you do a New Year's resolution. I write out a goal and I make a list of things that I want to work on. And what I do is I set smart goals, things that are attainable but tough. Like I'll be like, okay, I want to write a new 20 minutes, or I want to write a new joke every month. Just I push myself. Like so something that's been a recurring one for me is every year so every year I keep the same resolution, which is every show I want to do at least one joke that's freestyle off the cuff that I don't write. So I want to keep building that muscle
Why is that?
because it's such an important skill set, and then it's something that I didn't it didn't come to me naturally, so I had to work on it. Like so, it's something I wasn't good at first. So like in order to get better at it, I had to kind of force myself to do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And now I love it. Like I go to Cleveland and do John Bruton's his crowd work show, or I do Henry Allen and Jason Banks crowd work show, which like I said, I love those shows because it forces you to think on your feet and your improv skills.
Yeah, I usually try to open up my set that way,
Mm-hmm.
just because if it bombs and that's the first joke that bombs. So.
And then the reason I say that I do the same thing too is because I know that my written jokes are fire, then I can rely on them. I can always say, "Oh, this freestyle didn't go well," but I know these written jokes I got in the back of my pocket. They're gonna kill.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things I feel like I've noticed is that after COVID, there was, I guess you could say, a changing of the guards. I started a little before COVID, so I don't really know who was like top dog or whatever. I do remember seeing. Only two people I remember seeing that's doing something right now. I'm serious. There's like two people or whatever. But it seems like there was like a roster or a team, um, and then they stopped coming back after COVID, and now there's a new group of people who are regulars at one or both of these clubs. Um, so for someone that's been in it more than 10 years, if they've been in it more than 10 years, they have to wait their turn. Are you willing to continue to wait your turn, or are you more an initiative of making your own opportunities?
I think it's a little bit of both for me. I said like what's for me is for me. I said my only competition is me. So I'm not looking at the next man like, oh yeah, I need to nope. Whatever I'm doing is what I'm doing. And then as far as like, and then I'm one of the people who's a fan of the scene. Like, so whoever's in the scene, any new comics, I'm always reaching back for giving advice and helping out in any kind of way.
So you gonna stay here?
In Ohio,
Yeah.
for now, I bought a house out here, so I'm at least be out here for another year or two. Because
Well,
I'm only at year 8.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. Um. Well, I guess I'll ask you this then. How do you find like to get your foot in the door? You know,
Uh,
because the
for
way
me,
I'll say it, like you say you've been in it for 8 years. There's people that's regulars at clubs that it's not even been nowhere near 8 years. So how do you be like, okay, how do I get myself in here from your position?
so okay, that's a good question. For me, what I did, how I always started was I would go to shows, pay my money. Something you do, you're a big proponent of is networking. I would always show up for shows, and I would just be there, and they'd be like, "Hey, Mark, you want to do some time?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." And I started getting looks like that. Now, however, if somebody else is getting an opportunity that I'm not getting, that opportunity ain't for me. I personally am good because I travel. I said because I do clean, I do corporate gigs, I do birthday parties. I stay working. So if I'm not working at a club, that's all right with me. Long as my check's getting cash and I'm getting better, I'm good.
Uh, One thing I've been kind of realizing that sometimes, like, even if you get in a club, you might not particularly. So, like, when
Mhm.
like clubs, is that something like maybe you should just take whatever opportunity comes your way, or should you be like strategic when it comes to clubs? Be like, that's not a club I want to be aligned with, or what
Mm.
do it.
me personally, I don't want to align myself with something that doesn't match my goals and my morals and my ethics. So if this club is out here and they're promoting people who are doing shady stuff, like if it's a club owner and he's somebody that's kind of cringy towards women and stuff like that, ain't no opportunity worth my soul. So I ain't doing nothing like that. Like I'm not rocking with nobody who I know is proven to be a creep. So yeah, every opportunity is not a great opportunity. Like I said, I have to weigh the pros and cons with everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My goal is to get in a club, but I'm not in a rush.
Like I said, 'cause it's gonna come. Like I said, at the end of the day, you being funny and doing what you're doing, the fruit's gonna come. You just gotta be patient and do your thing. And when your opportunity comes, be ready for it.
One thing I saw you did that I really liked was I can't remember where it was at. It might have been in Ohio, but you did like a theater.
Mhm.
How was that experience? You had your name on the marquee and everything like that. How was that experience for you?
I honestly, that was top five coolest things I've ever done as a stand up. Like it easily, it might be number one. It was in Marysville, Ohio, and as I was walking into the venue, I'm talking to one of the other comics that I who go with me, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool if they put my name up there? And next thing I know, I start squinting. I said, wait a minute, that is my name. That's my picture. And I was like, oh man, it was amazing. Like they showed me mad love. They took care of me. They had two green rooms. I'm like, what do I need two green rooms for? But like it was one of those things where it was an experience and something that just it solidified me as a really up and coming comedian. I think.
Yeah, yeah. You said this was in Marysville?
Yes, sir.
They had their own theater out there.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I thought about shooting my special. The only problem is I don't know if enough people in Marysville will pack it out. That's like that's the tough part. Like you got to build that following where you can go to a city that you're not from and actually get people to come.
I mean, well, Marysville, not.
It's about 45 minutes to an hour. It's not bad, but still, like I would have to do like a shuttle bus and shuttle everybody there.
Marysville makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. And those are the jokes that you make. Like when I pulled up, I was like, bruh, man, I was looking for black people when I walked in. I was making sure I was the only one.
That's how it was when I was at Brooklyn Comedy Club.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've been there yet, but it was in I think like Miamisburg or Miamisburg.
Which one is this?
Ricky's Comedy Club.
I don't think I've done that.
It's a cool room. I went
Okay.
there and I didn't look like I belonged, and I wanted to leave so fast. Like, when it's like a city that you don't, because like if it's a city that I've never heard of or been to, or like, and it's not a big city, I'm probably gonna be in and out, especially if it's at night. I don't know this spot, but people be wanting you to stay around and stuff. So when you be out of town, like, how do you decipher if this is something you can stay in or not? Because I'll be ready.
So allegedly, whenever I leave the city and I'm going somewhere and it's a small town like that, I pack that heat with me. Allegedly, every time.
I didn't take you on the counter. That's
oh no! Oh no! Like I literally, where was I? I was just in Indiana, and I was in the car this morning, and I went to go get my my console. I thought, oh shoot, I left the gun in here. I said, let me go ahead and take this back in the house before I get arrested.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, but like I said, you gotta. Like I said, I always tell people, like I said, be smart. Like I said, this comedy thing can take you all over the world, but don't be no fool. Like I said, if I'm gonna go somewhere outside the city where I don't know people, I ain't got a bunch of people with me. Oh yeah, I got a little something on me. Run up on me if you want to.
I don't have nothing on me. That's why I walk fast to the car.
I ain't mad at that either. Because like I said, my thing is like because I never know, and like I said, a lot of time I do shows in these little backwater towns, stuff like Fostoria or Fremont, and they show me a lot of love. However, I never know, and like I said, I don't want to be that one time I'm sitting out here being all buddy with somebody, and they run up on me. Like, hey, I gotta get home to my family.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand. I understand. Yeah, that's what I'd be like if it like, especially depending on how far it is. I'll be like, yeah, I want to stay, but I got to go. I gotta get back.
Yeah,
I'll be feeling
I
bad. You know, you gotta network and stuff, but I'll be ready.
I do a lot of those, like, drive there same day trip. Like I'll drive home and like I say, like, listen, man, I'll sleep when I get home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But see, and that's part of the comedy grind that a lot of cats don't understand. It's gonna be some nights that you do some jokes in a city where you don't know nobody. Like I've done shows at a trailer park one time, and this one time, like, it was one of those gig salad shows, and they booked me, and there is no black people there, not like no color at all, and I'm telling jokes, and it's this dude, he's kind of like heckling me, and he keeps talking with my set, and I did a joke that didn't go over well, and he starts doing this, right? So I'm like, hey, bro, man, you don't wait till you get to your trailer and start doing all that stuff, bro. This ain't this kind of party. Come to find out, he had like Parkinson or something like that. His hand was couldn't stop shaking. That was the first time I got a bad review on Geek Salad. I felt so bad. I was like, bro, my bad. I didn't even know.
What's your worst bomb story?
I think the worst one for me is like when I was early in the game. I got a couple. Okay, I got two of them. I need you two. Early in the game, I thought that I was gonna write a new 5 minutes every week. So I was like, oh yeah, all those jokes I did last week, scratch. I'm gonna start fresh for the new five this week. And this was when there was a mic called Scarlet and Gray, one of the dopest mics in the city. And I'm on stage and I'm telling my jokes. Like I think I'm maybe 37 seconds into a joke, and it's going horribly. It's two black dudes in the front row, and a black dude. Black people don't know how to whisper. He looked at his homeboy, was like, "This nigga is terrible." I was like, "Yeah, that's my time, y'all. My name's Marc Fazon. Y'all have a good night." And I got off the stage and left.
Yeah.
Another time, I did a private gig, and it was like this little thing, and the lady was like, "Oh yeah, I want you to do your thing." Now, I was supposed to go at a certain time, but it kept getting later and later and later. People had been eating and drinking. It's towards the end of the night, and she's like, all right, yeah, let's go and bring this comedian up." So I'm on stage and I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to get in my bag, but it's like I said, I'm fighting against the audience who's ready to go and everything. And the lady walked on stage and takes the mic out of my hand. Was like, "Hey, bro, or she didn't take the mic out of my hand, but she kind of whispered like, she's like, it ain't working." I was like, "All right, y'all have a good night." Now, granted, I got paid, so I wasn't tripping. I was embarrassed, but I wasn't tripping about it. But like I said, it's one of those things you learn from it.
Yeah. Was she an older lady?
Yeah, she was an older lady. But like I said, if it had been younger, I would have roasted like, "Hey, girl, don't bring your booty up on this stage." I would have hit her with something, but I was trying to be respectful.
So that's one thing I forgot about. So I'm gonna ask you this. You put me on to you talked about private gigs. You put me on to this app called Gig Salad, which is a very good app. My fault. It's very good. How did you find it? How did you set it up? Like, how did you use this tool to help you with private gigs? Because that's a little bit more money than just local shows, and I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never. Well, I had some people want to talk about private shows, but how did you go about, doing your private shows?
So for me, I got hit to it because of another comedian Dick Dickerson, made a post, and I'm like, "Bro, what's Geek Salad?" So I hit him up and I asked him a couple questions about it, and he was like, "Hey, bro, do it." So when a comic that I trust and respect says, "Hey, bro, do it," say less. So I signed up and I created a profile, and I added a couple pictures and a couple clips of me doing stand up, so they got a little taste of it. Once I got my first paid gig, that person gave me 5 stars. After I got that first 5-star review, it pushed me up to a premium member where people started seeing my profile more. And I'm still using the free version of it. If you pay for it, you get way more leads. But like I said, it's an investment though. It's up to you.
Yeah, I don't think I can make money in any more investments.
and that's the thing. Like I said, like honestly, I think with Gig Salad, like I think it's like $200 or something like that for a year or something like that. It's nothing crazy, but like when I did pay for it, like I paid for it for one, like I paid for it like for like 6 months at one point. Nothing too crazy. I paid the money, but I made it back in tenfold, and that's why I said I wasn't tripping about it. But like I said, typically, it got to make sense though. Like I'm not just gonna sign up for every festival if there's no chance I'm gonna get in, if there's no chance that I can network and build relationships behind that.
Yeah. I had some people like when you told me about it, I checked it out. I had some people I book private gigs, but like people at like church and stuff or heard about me and stuff like that. But like private gigs, unless it's like with a corporation, I've never done that before. But unless it's with a corporation, like, them things
Bro,
could be
corporate gig. Listen, I was telling somebody about this the other day. I said, bro, I did a corporate gig while I was at my full time job. I left, took a little break, did 15 minutes of stand up. They paid me $350 plus tipped me, and I was back at work in less than 30 minutes. The corporate gig is where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do you because I ran into you one day when he's going to work. So how do you? I mean, I don't think it'll be hard for you. Like, I'll be if I'm at work, I don't really tell people I'm a comedian because I just don't.
Yeah, I don't mention that too much.
Yeah, I don't want them to know. How do you like keep that a secret from them? Do you go out your way to keep it, or you just?
So in my past role, they honestly knew about me. Like when I came in, I was kind of like a quasi celebrity to them. They was like, "Wait a minute, your birthday's on? Oh my god, let me!" Like they took me around, introduced me to everybody, and what they would do is they would actually book me for events. So I would get paid from my job to do actual events, like the host or tell jokes. So I did a show with Pac-Man Jones one time, the African American Male Wellness Walk. I hosted that for like the last 2 years. And I got that all because I was working for the agency and they knew that I was good as a host and MC. Now, typically, like you said, though, I don't really broadcast it because like I said, I don't need to be like panhandling to my coworkers like, hey, I do comedy, come out and see me. Like I said, it's kind of one of those things where like it's word of mouth. Like I'm a promoter on my social media because I ain't friends with most of my coworkers, no ways.
Yeah, nah, I don't like to do that.
Nah, it ain't what you want. It ain't what you want, dog.
Nah. Okay, so okay. I was gonna ask you, how did you go about making your merch? Because it is something that you wear a lot, and how did you come up with like the idea?
Represent right now.
Did you come up with like the idea and like everything that entailed of like your merch?
Okay, good question. So better about my face is something I've been saying to my little sister since I was a kid. Like, cause she was, you had that annoying sibling or something like that always in your face. And my sister would just like she would come in my room and just do stuff to me, and I couldn't cuss her out like I wanted to because my mom was like right there, and I was like, "Girl, you better get out my face," and I would just push her out the way. I don't know what happened. Like it was like a resurgence. Like after I started doing comedy one day, I was talking to my son or I was talking to somebody, and I was like, "Bro, you better get out my face. I ain't doing that," and it just kind of stuck. And I reached out to my best friend, he's a graphic designer, and I just told him like, "Listen, this is the idea I got," and I said, "Hey, whatever you can come up with, let me know." I told him, I gave him a general idea of what I was thinking. I let his creative genius come, and he created the design that it is now. And when I first started doing my merch, I was actually buying it in bulk. Like I would buy like 20, 30 shirts and everything and try to sell them. But the problem is sometimes you at shows and they don't sell it like that. So what I did was I took Kev on Stage's masterclass and I learned that you can do drop shipping. So I outsourced some stuff. I had another company who prints it, ships all my stuff out. They take care of all customer service. Now they take a big piece of the pie, but I'm not doing merch for money. I do merch because it's marketing and branding. I want people to be out here supporting, and represent the brand.
Yeah, that's what I did too. I did. I don't buy it in bulk. I just let somebody else.
Yeah.
So I need to get my own merch. That's what I need to do.
Now, I can make my own merch. I have my, like I said, now, like I said, I've invested, like I said, because I've been doing it for a couple of years. I have a heat press. I can make it myself. So if I know I got a show, I'll make a few shirts and take them with me, especially if I'm traveling out of town. If I'm featuring or headlining, oh, I got the merch with me, and I'm gonna sell a couple of shirts, and then what I'm gonna do is, if I run out of shirts, I'm gonna push them to the website. That pushes more traffic to the website, and that's business and traffic that way.
Yeah, yeah,
So it doesn't hurt to have both.
yeah, yeah. My merch is pretty just. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's. I don't have nothing related to me.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, I do like I created this with me, like with my example on there. I just haven't copied it yet to wear it, but mine's just like embroidery. I like that look.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's embroidery is really nice. It's expensive, but it's nice.
yeah. So
And I'm glad you said something. I'm a do some of your merch soon. Because I'm a big fan of supporting comics who have merch. Like I said, I think I got almost every comic locally who sells merch or DVDs. I said I'm a huge fan of that.
yeah, I gotta get. Yeah, I gotta load up on it myself too. I just dropped it. 'Cause I was just
Yeah,
trying
I
to
just
figure.
saw.
But yeah, I just dropped it, so I'm trying to still figure it out. Still learning how to do the marketing thing. So how do you market your merch on your social media page to get the word out?
Okay, great question. So I do a couple things. I have a link tree that has a link to my merchandise and a link to my website. And then on my website, you can go there and you can also get back to the merchandise. So everything I'm doing is pushing you either to my website or to my merchandise. I have the link tree on my Instagram, my TikTok, my Facebook, my Twitter. Everything has that same thing. And then another thing that I also did was the better get my face is a hashtag. So even if you don't follow me, you can follow that hashtag. So at every post that I make, I put better get out my face in a hashtag. So it's always everything is redirecting you back to that brand. It's all about the branding.
Yeah. How do
And
you?
then
My fault. Go ahead.
every so often, like if like my site will be running a special, if I see they're running a special, I really push hard to promote it that way.
Who do you use to make and ship out your stuff?
I use a Spreadshirt right now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
I make mine through Printful, and I use Shopify to do it to ship it out.
yeah, Shopify's pretty good. Yeah,
Shopify,
I thought about switching over, but I don't want to do the work.
Shopify is expensive. It's $39.
Spreadshirts ain't cheap either. Like they get a big piece of the pie.
Oh yeah, I did all my merch, um, the brand champion as of right
Hmm.
now.
Ooh.
That's because that's the only one I know. I mean, the other ones I know, it was the one that started with G, like Ladan or whatever.
Gildan,
Yeah,
Gildan, yeah,
but I don't know that one. I gotta see. I gotta feel in person. Sometimes they shirts be a little too like loose on the arms. I don't like
yeah.
that. Like,
I feel you. Plus, that you want to get the best product to your customers, so
yeah,
I ain't mad at that at all.
yeah. So the champion shirts, they're not too bad. They ran like 25. Hats was 18, and then the hoodies just 60 or
Hmm.
like 65 somewhere up in there. I try to make it at least be reasonable or whatever.
That's a big thing for me too. Like making sure everything is affordable. Because at the end of the day, I'm not like this. I'm not no designer. I don't care about that. I just want people to rock the brand, and support.
Yeah, because I just wanted them to have something nice to wear. Like I just didn't want it to be like, oh,
Yeah, this is trashy. Yeah.
this merch and it's you can tell it's merch. It don't feel like actual something. That's
Hmm.
what, like I'm a new champion. Plus I'm a '90s baby, so I was like, this
Hey,
makes sense. But
the resurgence of champion is hilarious to me. Because if you had champion on when I was a kid, oh, you was getting clowned.
Really?
Champion was not it. Champion was the equivalent of buying Walmart gear.
I figured that, but like
Yeah.
maybe because I was like a little kid. Like I just
Yeah.
I
It was different.
I
Yeah.
got it like to probably like elementary school and like middle school. Then yes, it was lame. But like when I was like 6, it was like, oh, I'm God on champion.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I was young, but like
Yeah. I'm an '80s baby. So if you was rocking Champion when I was in middle school and high school, yeah, you was getting clowned expeditiously.
oh, are you born and raised here?
Born and raised, yes sir.
Random question.
hmm
How do you? Everybody. I'll just ask. I don't really ask, but like everybody is. What's the word I can use? Everybody is proud of the Columbus scene, and like I've only been in it for a couple of years now, but you were here like before COVID, before we had a second
Right.
COVID, that type of stuff. How do you feel like? Do you feel like the scene is getting better or growing, or anything like that?
I think it's getting better and it's growing. I think the some of the young guns that we got in the scene right now are doing amazing things. They're putting on showcases. Like I said, they're not waiting around to get booked. They're creating their own shows and they're putting some of the OGs on, and I love that. Like I said, like it's so many comics that I revere because they come in and they grind and they promote the scene. They push the scene forward. Now, granted, we're gonna always have animosity and beef and ego problems, but for the most part, the scene is growing and it's developing into something really dope.
Yeah, yeah. How was it? How was those like mics and stuff? I don't know. It seemed like back before COVID when y'all was just coming out, it seemed like the mics was a little. I said they trash now, but it seemed like they were, I guess, a little bit more legendary back then. How was there now? I know you
Oh,
don't come to mics now, but like how were they now versus the mics that we have now?
so I think I like what we have now because like we're doing more workshops now. Like I love the workshops where you're trying out a joke and you're getting instant feedback and tagged by other comics. Before the shows were like you said, they were legendary. Like it'd be one night you'll see Bobby Dobbs, Jason Banks, Henry Allen, Jake Coates, J.R. Jr. all go back to back to back. So and they're all killers. So you're like, bro, it's an amazing night in comedy. But now I think more so the scene is more nurturing in the sense of like I always tell new comics, I'm like, bro, when they be like, well, Mark, you always showing love. I'm like, I show love because when I first started, it wasn't like that. It wasn't nobody kind of, taking the time and watching sets and giving tags and giving advice. They didn't talk to you until you was funny. Like you had to do a couple of shows and show and prove that you was actually nice at comedy before they actually respected you back in the day. Now it's like it's everybody get love, and I think it's dope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what's up, man. That's the problem.
But yeah, them like I said, them old nights, like I said, it would be epic. Now, granted, we would only have maybe one or two shows a night. There wasn't like multiple nights. Like right now in the scene, you got like 4 or 5 nights you can go to one night, which is amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I hit 2 mics last night,
Yeah.
um, and I was tired.
Listen, I ain't even gonna hold you. I was just telling Hassan because his mic he used to have was a Red Rock, and I was like Hassan, bro. I said I stopped coming. I said your mic was all on the east side, and then you put comics on around 11 o'clock at night, bro. I'm tired. I ain't ready to be funny at 11 o'clock at night, and I gotta drive back home. I'm good, bro.
Yeah, somebody convinced me to come out. They were like, "Are you going to the other mic?" I was like, "The other mic."
Mm.
It was like, "Yeah, it's just down the street." I was like, "All
But
right."
see, if you go to New York, it's mics all day long. Like there's a mic at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the morning.
I know, which is weird because like I would love to live in a city where there's multiple mics. There's another mic tonight. I didn't want to go. Like I didn't want to go at all. I was like, bro, I'd rather be at the crib, bro. I'd rather be.
Right.
And I think I think also because these mics. I mean they're coming up. Some of these mics are a little newer. They're coming up on their 1 year anniversary.
Right.
And then some are leaving, so it'd be kind of hard to be like, all right, this is my routine for this week. Like my routine has changed because Forrest stopped.
I just saw that. I hate to see that too. That was a good mic.
That was the only mic that I would hit like 2 a night because I mean, pretty much Wednesdays and Thursdays. I mean, bi-weekly mics they cool, or once a month mics they cool. But I don't really count them in rotation. Like I don't.
Right.
That's just doing too much. Oh, we got 3 mics on Thursday, but not the first 3 Thursdays. I'm not doing all that. Like
because I ain't got time to remember all this. Yeah.
Right. So, but I feel like the only mics that we have like multiple mics on a consistent basis would be Wednesdays and Thursdays. So I'm probably gonna have to switch Thursdays and make that my double night or some crap like that.
And see, and that's another one of my goals is for 2024. It's like at least a mic a week. I said that's doable. Because like I said, I don't get out to mics as much because I'm a father. I don't be want to come out all the time, especially when it's cold outside. But like I said, I do need to do a better job of hitting these mics and networking. Like I said, Wednesday at the attic, I'm there in the workshop and I'm giving tags and people are like, oh man, I need to hear this. I'm like, bro, I got you. So I know that I'm in the comedy game, not just for me, but for other people. So I got work to do still. So I got a lot of people I got to push forward and support.
Man, I'll be staying later for mics now because usually I just leave. And I hate it. I hate staying, but I'm like, let's just stay.
But see, I can't leave because, like I said, we used to have to really, like I said, at Shrunken Head, they had a rule. If you came and performed and then bounced right after your performance, they wouldn't put you on. You had to stick around and watch some comics. Like it was like a house rule, like that he had, which I love because like ain't nothing worse than for somebody to do their stuff and then get on stage and not watch another comic do their thing. So they used to have some rules back in the day that would prevent you from just getting on stage and leaving.
Yeah. I respect rules, but I feel like the rules are unrealistic. Because it's like I get it. I'll be like, don't get me wrong, I be want to hear other people's stuff too, but like you gotta take into account, like you said, a father, you got a wife, and then like
you got work in the morning, all that stuff.
What if somebody got to work third shift and they can only do like maybe the first 10 and then you run late? So now they taking even more risk. And now they got to wait. Like, and then, in my case, I got to get up early morning for work. I got to still cook. You know what I'm saying? Like, these mics start super late, in my opinion. So it's like, I got to be up at 4, dog. Like, so I got to try to get some sleep. So that's why I would leave. Now I'll stay a little later. But I ain't staying super late. I'll probably stay at 10:30. If I ain't see you, I ain't see you.
I'm not mad at you, bro. Cause it'd be like that for real. Like if we get to talking and talking comedy, the other night, like I tried to leave the attic like at least 6 times. I started my car from inside the venue, outside the venue. But we got to talking and the conversation started flowing. I was like, bro, man, I'm sitting out here in the cold, freezing my nipples off because we talking comedy though.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I just wish they would be like, okay, we know this person got this X, Y, Z. That's just not realistic. Like that, like we got a lot of women that's coming out now, but like I be seeing like people like Steph come out, and I'm like, bro, she got a whole kid, like a whole kid. Right. She's out here. Right. So we supposed to like tell her like, nah, you can't be here because you got to go back home to your kid. Like, nah, I don't like that.
Right. I agree 100%.
Yeah, I just wish it was like more realistic. Like, I agree, like sit down, watch other people, blah blah blah. But some people can't, and some people literally make a sacrifice to come out. So I have my club. I ain't gonna be like, I'll be like, I got it. I understand. Go ahead, do your thing. But yeah.
So that's your goal is to own your own club.
Yeah, my goal is to definitely own my own club. It don't gotta be nothing like super big. It just be like a nice little independent club where people actually learn how to do comedy and grow, like have comedy classes, have writing workshops, improv
That's
classes,
amazing.
all that type of stuff. And I mean,
Are you gonna do it here or in Chicago?
Definitely not here.
See how he do his Columbus, y'all.
It's like it might be here, but I don't. It might be here, but yeah,
You never know. You never know.
I guess it would probably either be here or like whatever city like have the most fans at. I guess I don't know.
Right.
Rocking me the most, but yeah, I definitely want to do that just to help nurture and stuff like that. And like, it ain't, I mean, definitely bring some big names in there, but bring like legit hilarious people that you probably never heard of to like get to know them and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm all for the underdog, so it's just a comedy club for like the underdog.
That's amazing. I like that, bro.
Yeah. So
I pray you that dream becomes a reality.
Yeah, man, I want that. I think having a club is probably not the smartest thing because you don't really make money, but you know,
right.
I just I think it'd be dope and sweet just to have one, especially more so because we don't have a lot of black club owners.
Right.
I definitely think that needs to change because I definitely want to book white comics so they can see how we feel when we go out. Almost every time I have a show, I make sure I book somebody white because
so they can kind of get a taste of it.
Yeah, I want them to feel how we feel on a daily basis. Two, I know it.
I tell people all the time. I said the best comics can do either room. Like I said, it's maybe 5 or 6 comics that are of Caucasian that are coming at least do a black room. Not a whole lot, because I get it. It's tough. It's unfamiliar and it's scary. But the only way you're gonna know if you can rock it is by rocking it.
Yeah, but that's what makes you better.
I agree.
At least I'm not gonna say white rooms though, because they do, but black rooms definitely make you better. But yes, when I move to Chicago, I definitely want to move to Chicago because it is very segregated there. So I'm like, well, then shoot, I can go to this side of town, work on some jokes, see if Mexicans like it. I'm like, there's no better place to be. It's diverse, and I want to make sure everyone understands me. The worst thing I hate about comedy is like, I'm not gonna say no black comics do it. I've only noticed this with white comics. You ever notice like when a comic will go up there and they are killing, like you are not laughing, you just don't get it. But you know they killing. People are just
right.
Yeah. I don't even know
what. So to piggyback off of that, sometimes comedy is subjective. So I can't relate to the point that I laugh externally, but I enjoy it. Like I might watch it and I may not laugh ha ha ha, but on the inside I'm like, okay, that's good. That's a good joke right there. I like that. So for me, that's good enough.
That's level 1 for me. But level 2 is like, when are you getting on? Like,
you kill it. That's the thing though, because comedy is subjective. That's why I be telling people, like, when people put out those lists, I was like, I don't know why y'all get mad. It's all subjective.
Yeah.
You can put 10 people in a room and show them 10 different comics, and not all of them have a different favorite comic. It's all of it subjective. You don't know. Everybody got their own cup of tea. Everybody got their own flavor of ice cream they like. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I'll never say nobody. Well, I did tell a comedian to his face I didn't think he was funny, but for the most part, I won't tell somebody that they're not funny. I know.
Bro, you said you told him to his face he wasn't funny?
Yeah, he was at my house.
Oh. You's the wild boy for that. we got to have to fight or something, bro. I'm breaking some furniture. I'm stealing some records. You ain't gonna just tell me I ain't funny to my face.
It was with love, but then like 2 weeks later, he made me laugh, and I was like, "Good set." So I guess. But yeah. Like, what was I saying?
You talking about owning the comedy club, talking about working white room versus black rooms.
Yeah, I forgot.
You went off a whole tangent.
Yeah, I forgot. been lost. It went somewhere in the universe. Oh, like I was talking about, like telling comics like not. Oh, I've never say like a comic's not well, except that one. But like if I'm sitting there and I'm just like I don't get it, but they laugh, I know they're funny. They're just not funny.
Right.
I'm more so upset that I don't get it. That's what I'm
Right.
upset. Like why? What is it? Because and white humor is just different than black humor. Like there's like I don't know. I don't know.
It's cultural. That's what it is. It breaks down to culture. Culturally, there's some stuff that you and I have a shared experience, even though we didn't grow up together. So culturally, there's some stuff you're just gonna get. Like if I tell you, have you ever made a cup of Kool-Aid? Not a whole pitcher, just a cup of Kool-Aid. You probably like, oh, I may not have ever done that, but you've seen it done before. Like that's a shared experience because of growing up in the hood. That's something we can share. So culturally, there's some stuff that you're just gonna get.
I'm trying to back up from doing cultural things because like it's like a blurred line between like being like, oh, you stole my joke, and it's like, and then like with the whole thing with like Cat and Cedric, like okay, like yeah, it kind of looked like it was stolen, but like we all see like a black person like kind of drive like that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
Right.
It's like blurred line. I don't know. I would never. Unless it was like, okay, like my hairline joke. If someone said that joke like bar for bar, I'd be like, okay, clearly that was mine. But if it's like something like
a common concept or something like that, like I typically like cultural things or pop reference things like that. Those are things that I do as freestyle. Those are throwaway jokes. Those are not actual set. Those are things that I just do like a freestyle, and then I let it go. I post it on Facebook or Instagram, and then I leave it alone. It's not an actual set material. My set material is my personal experience, my life. Like I think Tony Rock told me this. He was like, bro, he said, if you talk about your life, can't nobody talk about, like I said, that's your experience. So we might have a shared experience, but it's going to connect with you the best. And that's worked out for me so far. Where I haven't had anybody say I stole a joke or I haven't caught anybody stealing my jokes, not yet at least.
Yeah, but I had somebody say I stole the joke because I said that my mom didn't have McDonald's money. I'm like, nigga, everybody mom said that.
It's a common thing.
Yeah, if I say that on stage, I'm saying it because I know they're gonna relate to it, they're gonna laugh because their mom
right
too. So just because you heard one black comic say it another one doesn't mean that. But comics are so in their ego, it's like I'm just gonna stay away because I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I just don't. Yeah, I try to like make sure at least definitely for me, but in this scene, just be the comic that just says like the most, not necessarily random shit, but like how did you come up with that? You know, like
right, very unique.
Like, how did you come up with it?
Bro, so,
how did you come up with thought?
Right. Right. That's a dope way of thinking. So for me, I had a joke that was quite similar to Dion Cole, and I had been doing it for years. Now I know for a fact Dion Cole ain't stole my joke, but like I said, but once again, we have similar thoughts. He did it a completely different way. So what I did was, because I'm not nowhere near as big as Dion, I stopped doing the joke completely until I got to a point where I was able to do it in a way that was different and separated. Like I said, if I don't know that I'm doing a joke that's similar to somebody else, that's one thing. But to knowingly know that somebody else is doing that joke like that, nah, bro, I'm switching it up. I'm not doing that joke until I find a way to do it in a different way that's unique to me.
Yeah, I'm not even touching it no more because I just
And I've done it too. Like I have a really good joke. I threw away because it was too close to somebody else's joke. I was like, that's gone. Or what I'll do is this: I'll give them the tag. I'm like, hey, bro, I have a joke similar to that. If you want, I like your joke better. You can have this if you want it. Some people take it, some people don't.
Yeah, I'm staying far away from that because I just like with the cat and with the cat situation and just seeing that happens at every level, which I'm like, okay, pretty sure this does. So it don't faze me, but it was just like I get it. It's just like it's at the end of the day, like I don't know, like what's more important, this joke or like I just don't like to see us like we the ones that bicker the most. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't at least publicly we do.
Yeah, right. I agree.
I don't like that. So I'll just be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that. Let me just
and that's a good approach, like I said, to come to say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna move on, because there is, like I said, there is no winning. Like I said, if we're arguing publicly about a joke, I feel like as a dog, like if I see somebody doing a joke that's quite close to mine, I'm like, hey, bro, listen, just so you know, I got a joke that's similar to that, and I've been doing it for a little while. I'm like I'm taking the ego out of it though. I'm like, hey, bro, this is what it is, and you know, once we have the information, it's up to you to decide what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah. As we start to wrap this up here, what and thank you for being multitasking. While I do this podcast, who is on your Mount Rushmore for comedy?
Oof. Such a tough one. Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Red Fox, and Sinbad.
Good, because I was randomly gonna say I was gonna watch Stanford and Son and Smoke tonight. Nah, I see why
Red Fox, bro, is a Cat is still stealing Red Fox jokes to this day.
What is any of his? I think one of them might be on YouTube. Is any of his specials on YouTube or something? He really did a lot.
He did a lot of albums, so like you can get vinyls of them or something like that. I don't know if they're on YouTube. I've never even looked. Like I have like CDs of it that I have or something like that, but I don't have any actual vinyl. I mean, any actual like recorded specials online that I've seen.
I have to see if
I'm gonna look into that though. But Red Fox though, like those one-liners, they're so quick and so witty. He was it's crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna have to see if study for his one line. I'm gonna see if they got it at the record store.
Yeah.
Okay. What piece of advice could you give to any young comedian that's listening to this right
now? Keep hitting those mics, keep writing, keep networking, and in that first year or two, focus on your stage presence and finding your voice. Like I just told a comic the other day, I said, hey bro, I said, you need to talk like you're talking to your best friend. I said, stop trying to be all extra funny and stuff like that. Work on that stage presence. Work on finding your voice. Once you do that, the rest will come. Say that one more time.
Message.
I messed that up. I would never record another episode while working. But I needed those because I just paid for this ticket. I'm like, yeah, I need this money back.
I can dig it.
I got it for the low though. I was like, I gotta get it today. You ever looked at plane tickets and then you go back the next week and they're like a whole totally different price? Yeah, like I'm not doing that. I'm just going. Whenever I look at it, I gotta get it that day.
Right. Yep.
Back, I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm going to Atlanta next weekend. I was like, bro, man. I said those tickets were the price. They were the price. It was round trip. I gotta get them now.
Man, I looked at Delta first. I was like, nah. Bro, I haven't been on Delta since the first time I rode a plane, bro. Like Delta is expensive. Bro.
They pricey. Give an American. I don't mess with Delta or American. I fly Southwest mostly.
Southwest is my favorite. I haven't flown in, but I did buy Southwest tickets today. I've been on United. I don't have anything bad to say, but it was a connecting flight, so I don't have anything. It's zero. Right. American Airlines. Last time I went on a plane, I flew American. It wasn't bad, and all the seats wasn't filled, which and I haven't been on Delta since I was 11, so I don't know what changes they've made, but
right.
They doing some good things if they charging $800 a ticket.
Jeez.
Like, nah, bro. We went straight to Southwest and got it for $4 something. All right, so Tell people why they should listen to Comedians in Bed.
I think you should listen to it because you get a different perspective from comedians all over the world. You get comics who've been in the game for 10, 15 years. You get comics who've been doing it for a year. You get a perspective that's different and honest and real comics, keep giving you the real. And I think it's dope. Plus, I think Ty's a good dude and he owed me some money. So once he gets his ratings up, he can pay me my money back.
Mark, tell people where they can find you at.
You can find me on all social media. That's MARC_FAZON. Um, I'm accessible, and in most cases, I follow back too. If you catch me on the right day.
Hey man, if you want to catch next week's episode, we go live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will be. No, I won't say that yet. Oh, do you have? Do you know if you have any like shows in like March or something right now?
March, I actually have a show I'm doing with the Soul Dope show with my homegirl Camille. It's going to be March 8th. It's Friday, March 8th. It's going to be at the Upfront Performance Space, which is 503 South Front Street. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 7:30.
Okay, so make sure you guys see that. Check him out on IG to get more information on that. But if you want to see more weekly clips of our episodes, please follow us on IG at Comedians in Bed Podcast. Once again, we want to thank my man Marc Fazon for coming back on the show. And we will see you guys. And thank you for your patience, for working with me. I'm turning over here. I will never do this again.
It's all too good.